What's up, everybody? This is Jeth here. I hope you are all having a wonderful day. I'm here to cast a game from the ranked teams ladder. This is in preparation for the Mythic Clan League hosted by Deities of Death. Some of the players in this game will be featuring in the Mythic Clan League tournament that will be taking place in April and May. These aren't exactly teams that will be in the tournament, but some of these players will be featuring in that tournament. So I hope you enjoy this game. It features a lot of exciting action on all sides of the map, so let's get into it. So in the blue color here, at the bottom team, we've got Tunison playing on Thor, already receiving a cast of the Gaia Forest God Power from his teammate DSE. To the middle player in yellow, we've got Mosca playing as Susanoo in the pocket for the bottom team. He's getting his game started. And then rounding off the bottom team for today's game is DSE on Gaia in the teal color. Let's get on to the top team. So in the pink color, we've got Ragnerox playing on Zeus on the left flank. In the pocket in the middle of the team's layout, we've got Japan Balanced playing as Set. He's a Russian player. Not sure whether this is Garneth or B. I don't think it's Nullus, because obviously Nullus is the third person in this team on the right flank in the red color. We've got Nullus playing Thor. So two Thors featuring in this game, one on each team, one on the right hand side of the map, one on the left hand side of the map. Alright, so I've revealed the map. You guys can take a look at the mini map and get a lay of the land. We'll just hop back to Tunison. He's got his dwarven armory down. He's got 5 dwarves on gold, 3 on wood. So he's getting his economy started. He's opting to get some scouting done with his berserk. He's not forcing the deer under the town center. He's opting to build a ox cart, and he's scouting the map. Obviously, Marsh, it's a closed map with lots of rivers. One wants to know where are the rivers. There's also quite a lot of pigs that can be found along the map, so that's important to get the scouting in, and in a team game, scouting is very, very important. Moving on to Mosca, he's got a forward hunt patch, but he's sorting that out. He's got his commoners on the hunt, and he's already getting his temple down with 2 commoners to make sure that that is done in time for his advance. Good team play once again from DSE, dropping another Gaia Forest onto the town center of Moscow. So already this team is benefiting from God powers being shared between them. Now, if we look at DSE, what is he up to? He's already placing a temple in front of his town center. Interesting placement. He's scouted the red tower here from Nullus. So perhaps he's already one step ahead of the game, and he's thinking, well, I've got a forward gold mine. I'm against a Norse player who might come in with rams later on. Who knows? Let me put my temple adjacent to the town center, providing some extra protection. He's got his oracles expanding out on the map, getting some scouting done in all 3 directions. Very smart way to go about this as Atlantean, and it gives a big advantage to their team in terms of visibility on the map. Let's see what the top team is getting up to. Alright, so Ragnerox, he's busy advancing. He's going up through Athena. He's got 6 villagers on the wood line, 6 on his gold mine. Gold mine is a little bit exposed. He's got a temple there, only 3 on food, so we can definitely expect a fast second town center coming out from him. Now if we look over to the set player, he has got 12 villagers on gold. Pharaoh empowering the gold. He's already got pickaxe in, so he's maximizing his economy in that respect. Got the baboon of Set and the priest 2 priests out, really starting to scout the map, using his Animals of Set to do more scouting. Very good play initially here from the set. And what do we see going on already? 7 laborers and the pharaoh walking towards the center of the map. That to me signals he's probably going for a forward town center. He sees a lot of hunt here, a gold mine available for that, so he's already got quite a proactive and bold and confident move to start off the game. Nullus, on the other hand, he's just picked up a relic, Bridle of Pegasus, a fantastic relic to have in a map like Marsh where there's rivers that Norse doesn't have abilities to cross for scouting, but he's making up for Thor's poor scouting by getting this relic. I'm sure he's very happy with that for now. So let's see what he is up to. He's got a lot of dwarfs on food. Quite an even distribution of villages between food, wood and gold, which to me suggests he's not likely going for a town center straight away. 2 great halls to kick things off. He's going to be making some raiding cavalry. Getting up some walls, good value for these walls connecting the forest to the river. These walls, even a wall segment that's 21 gold can have a gate put in it and you are closing off the map, which is excellent. So yes, the set did end up actually going for a forward town center. We'll see how that pans out for him. The Valkyrie is causing some action. Mosca is busy putting pressure onto Ragnerox with his Kitsune, and we see that the Katoskopos of Ragnerox has been taken down. So that then means he needs to maybe get a Pegasus out to actually accelerate his scouting, because there's still a lot of the map that is unscouted and you need to know what your opposing team is doing strategically. So I'm going to reveal the map once again just to get a better sense of what is happening all over the map. Tunison, he's got some hearses out. He's already putting pressure onto Ragnerox, and I'm sure Ragnerox is sweating a little bit now because he has placed his second town center, which means that there's a window of opportunity here for Tunison to really put the pressure on, and it takes sometimes 5, 6, sometimes 7 minutes to pay off a town center, and that is going to be when Ragnerox is very vulnerable. This little section of the map in the top left hand corner, there's a long section of river here protecting Ragnerox, so he does have some hunt and water buffalo available to him. We will see whether he's able to get full use of that. Nullus, he's got his raiding cavalry out, he's putting on pressure but also doubling that up as scouting for his team to see what is Mosca doing. Mosca does have his second town center as well. He's got his town center rallying over to the second gold mine, nice and safe in the back of the base. His teammate Gaia is closing off the side of the map. So Mosca is busy having a really good start to the game, and he's protected by several sections of rivers, and he's far in the corner of the map. So that means, and we see a commoner going down from the Valkyrie, and then the Valkyrie goes down. Alright, Mosca, we know he's a very capable defender. His macro is excellent, and for him to have this paradise in the corner, it's definitely got him feeling happy. Set, well, he's gone for a third town center, 3 TC boom happening for him, walling off, trying to really accelerate his economy to the nth degree. So it's not surprising in a way, because he's got a lot of resources that are safe for him to really take advantage of. So we'll see how that pays off for him. Tunison, he's put on pressure with his raiding cavalry. Ragnerox has 2 military academies out, making hoplites, so Tunison is not going to have a lot of opportunities to raid here if Ragnerox maneuvers his defensive units successfully. But we do see a surround on the villagers here. How many villagers are killed? One villager down, two raiding cavalry down, a third one on very low HP. So on the back of this, Tunison has decided to go and get a second town center at the 9-minute mark. So he's put some pressure on, but he realizes with all those hoplites and the Wadjet protecting him, he's not going to be able to get any more damage done, rather get his economy going. Mosca sending off a Kusanagi, trying to put some pressure here onto the set. He wants to get in here and see what is going on over here. So he's coming in, 8 Naginata riders, 4 Kitsune, taking out a priest, taking out some spearmen, and obviously the set player now, he understands, he's under pressure. 3 TCs, he's not going to be able to produce a lot of military at this point. Villagers running into the town center. Swampland dropped here, so no defensive units. Spearmen getting eaten by the Kappas as they come out of the barracks. A couple of villagers going down here. Nullus coming in to help his teammate. He's got to do some legwork here for his team. He's still on one town center, and that means he can produce units without the food expenditure on the town centers. So what's going to happen here, we'll have to wait and see. Gaia has some catapulties out to deal with these raiding cavalry. He's knocking on the door. He's really keeping Nullus honest here. And these are the kind of things that make a difference. Nullus, maybe if there wasn't as much action going on the map, he would have opted for a second town center as well. We'll see whether he can make some offensive, aggressive plays with this one town center setup. Gaia, he's all walled in. He's teaming up with Mosca to secure off their section of the map. Their team is fully walled in now on all fronts. Lots of food to be had here. Nullus, sneaky, puts in a transport ship, gets 3 raiding cavalry in on this position. We all know citizens are not easy to raid, but he is getting some work done here. And at the same time, he's breaking into the base, and Ragnerox drops an underworld passage into the base of the Gaia. Restoration click for Ragnerox. Thunderburst coming in from Mosca. Forest fire at the back. A huge amount of action going on here. The catapulties are fighting the hoplites. That's not what they want. Flaming weapons dropped by Nullus. He's backing off to get out of the Thunderburst. Ragnerox is just tanking it and going full tilt onto this position. Mosca's units getting cleaned up at the back here. The flaming weapons is too strong. Looks like the top team has a military advantage at the moment. 8.5k resources, military to 5.7. So they have the upper hand in this situation. Tower going down. At the same time, Tunison making a counterplay at Ragnerox's base. Ragnerox is preoccupied in the Gaia's base and his town center is already below half HP. In comes the army of the Jarls, the throwing axemen and the hearses. Killing villagers, destroying the town center. Maximum value of the flaming weapons. Not as much damage happening as quickly here. This town center, the temple is protecting the town center, and that has made a difference. If we look at the villager count now for Ragnerox, 46 villagers. If we look at the Gaia, he has 56, so more damage has been done to Ragnerox. Nullus coming back through the underworld passage after they've killed the town center. He's here to chase Tunison away, but the damage has been done. Set channeling in some military, but it is a little bit too little too late in terms of that. So at the scoreboard, neck and neck, both teams are completely equal, and it looks as if there's a mirror down this middle of the map. What's happening on this side on the left is happening on the right. Let's see. Mosca knows, let's clean up the underworld passage. Nullus isn't ready for that yet. He wants to protect the underworld passage and keep the raids going. He peels off a couple of raiding units to go and raid on the right, but Nullus is forced out by the second swampland from Mosca. This will mean that Gaia and Susanoo have a chance to take out the underworld passage. We have Raiju coming in, upgraded with Thunderous Presence and Crushing Waves, extra damage, extra movement speed, extra movement speed. Very threatening for the Norse players to deal with. The raiding cavalry getting in on these citizens, surrounding one, killing one off. At the same time, Set and Zeus decide, well, it's time to push and really try and stamp their advantage on another front in the game. On the back of this, Tunison, he's got his buildings in place. He has a lot of military production buildings. He has 3 great halls, 5 longhouses, and his hill fort coming up at the back here. What is going to come of this? Things have stabilized in the Gaia's base, so now we'll wait and see what can come of this. Tunison has a relic here. Infantry units deal divine damage over time. That is quite nice for the Norse player to have, considering they do have quite a lot of infantry units. And bearing in mind that this will also work on throwing axemen, most likely, unless it's only for melee attack. Okay, so it's not gonna work on throwing axemen. That would be quite strong. Nullus still trying to put pressure on here, but there's a good answer for them. Contarius and Naginata, they're stronger than the raiding cavalry in a head-on-head fight. So Nullus, he's under pressure now. He doesn't have a second town center yet. And what is he gonna do about that? Lots of Toxite in here for Ragnerox. They're medium, they're upgraded. He's got copper shields, but I'm not exactly sure if that's useful in this situation, although he is fighting under arrow fire from the Tunison buildings. Tunison biding his time. He's not going to commit to this fight knowing that they are at a military disadvantage, although they do have a 10 villager lead, and that will mean 500 to 600 resources per minute advantage. So let's see what happens. They're taking a fight here. The Jarl's on the front and a tornado comes in. We're starting at 9.8k resource value. How much damage does it manage to get done? This tornado is swirling around in Tunison's base. It's not huge damage from the tornado. It destroys a few buildings, but was that the best use of the tornado? We'll have to wait and see. In the middle, there's an exchange here happening. Lots of chariots, heavy chariots with bow and bow. Extra range, extra line of sight. They're upgraded to heavy chariots, and he's got ballistics and a bronze weapon. So he's in a strong position here, strong army. He's stamping his authority in the middle of the map. At this point in time, the bottom team is really under pressure on all 3 fronts, left, middle and right. Nullus, he's pushing in. He's got 3 rams, 13 throwing axemen, 9 goatees. He's trying to really punish this guy once again, but this temple is doing work once again, protecting his town center. He's building a 3rd palace here, defensive. He knows he's got 2 TCs and the Thor is on 1 TC. He just has to hold this position. The Raju's coming in from Mosca, trying to help out, but the goatees are eating them alive. He needs to be careful with these, and he pulls them back. Still action going on here. The strong Greek army with the abundance of archers trying to push in here, and we see Dragon Typhoon clicked in the middle of the map. It's doing huge damage. It's swirling upwards on the map, and it's annihilating this entire army of the set player. Another swampland dropped here from Mosca to defend this town center, and at the same time flaming weapons. This was a sudden change of momentum from the bottom team. This is a change in the game, I can imagine. They are now top of the scoreboard clearly. Tunison is pushing, Ragnerox retreats, and immediately Tunison says, I'm gonna get this section of the map occupied with the town center. if we look over at Mosca, how is he casting so many god powers? Well, Kusanagi dropped down. How many Mikos for Mosca? 10 Mikos. They are gathering at a speed of about 45 favor per minute. That is insane. With the cheaper god powers, he's going to be spamming out. He's taking full use of this pocket. He's praying to the gods on every front. Here we go. Nullus, he's trying to put on the pressure now. Once again, he takes out a palace, but this Gaia is really doing everything that he can. 4 rams, flaming weapons for Nullus. But we do have masons in for Gaia, and he's gonna have buildings with quite a lot of HP. The tower still doing damage at the back here. 2 fortresses. Flaming a forest fire in for Nullus to chase Ragnerox away from here. His villagers are coming to have a contestation with the other Norse villagers for food. There is still a hunt pack here, but maybe he doesn't know about it. Now his villagers are in danger. If we go to their point of view, he didn't scout the corner. There's always stuff in the dark. Make sure you scout the whole map. I know it's been a busy game, so who can blame him, but a Pegasus would not go amiss. His Pegasus is standing still at the back, but I know what it's like when you have to micro 1,000,001 things at once. The town center going down here. Nullus forced to leave now because there's 20 Yumi horse archers from Mosca. We all know archers are a pain for Norse to deal with, especially when they can stand defensively under cover. Nullus, he's got a hill fort in. He's trying to make some Huskarls, but this is a really good advancement of his army for Mosca because they're really going to do work. He's got asymmetrical bows, 25 extra damage, ballistics, bronze weapons, Sashimono Bannerman, extra HP, and even Bow of Artemis, making all of his archer units 10% cheaper. So he's going to lean into that heavily in this game, I can imagine. He's got some Omyoji sieging down this Migdol at the front. He's got the Shinigami, really a late game composition that is a pain to deal with. The archers, the Shinigami, and the Omyoji. So they're pushing forward. Let's see what can come from these spearmen. Can they push some stuff back here? They're killing some Omyoji. Mosca needs to be careful with these expensive units. At the same time, Tunison making buildings. He's not doing much. Nullus, it feels like he's just living in this base here for Gaia. But Gaia, he's just holding off. Thor now on 3 TCs, trying to catch up on economy. If we look at the team scoreboard, the top team still has a massive military advantage, but it's closing down and the villager count is equalizing. Tunison, he's spreading out now. He's looking to put pressure onto the set. He's now got 4 town centers. He's put the citadel center onto this town center over here. He's got another citadel center in the middle at his base, his home base. What's going to come of all of this? It's more of the same in many respects, although the Arcus numbers are climbing up. Ragnerox pushing onto this town center. We've got fortified town centers, crenellations, masons in for Tunison. Masons a very good upgrade to have for your buildings. He's got his trade route going. How many camel caravans? 34 camel caravans going from this market into his teammates' town center. The citadel center goes down. That hurts a lot for the set. Fimbulwinter clicked. They're running in here at the back. Ragnerox has to garrison a huge amount of villagers on the back. The wolves, they're eating away at all the villagers at the back here as well. This is going to stifle their economy tremendously. The vengeful Shinigami, he's got crushing waves, which is going to make them faster as well. He's really starting to build up momentum here in the middle. Mosca, how many trade caravans does he have? He's got 32. So the two pocket players are really, it's coming down to a battle between them, as their economies are pretty much equal. They're on equal score and they're both mythic age. Nullus, Ragnerox and DSE still in the heroic age. Tunison pushing in here with his greater Jarls, and we see a Dragon Typhoon coming in, the second one, wiping out Ragnerox's army, the second Dragon Typhoon of the game. Global presence from Mosca, he's pushing in here with his Shinigami. He will probably upgrade those soon as well. Very strong pesky units that come back stronger when they die. At this point, Set massing out Spearmen, it's quite optimistic because he's going to struggle to catch all of these archers. Maybe some more camel riders is what he needs. Nullus, he's like a dog with a bone in this situation. He's continuing. He doesn't want to stop raiding on this point, but there's not a lot left here for Gaia, and Nullus is actually falling behind a bit on the score compared to the Gaia, and the Arcus Ball and the destroyers are making inroads over here. Into the center of the map once again. Set has 5 catapults. He wants to destroy the buildings, but he can't get forward anymore. Now the bottom team has the military advantage. It's completely equal on economy, but the bottom team, with those 2 Dragon Typhoons and the extra flaming weapons, they are finding their advantages now. All these relics are also going to be paying off. Heroes extra HP. Research cost for the temple, cheaper. He could upgrade his Shinigami. Bow of Artemis, as we said earlier, cheaper, and the sentry towers are beating myth units. And there, Ragnerox taps out. His town center has gone down for the second time in this game, and they're forced to call it there. Very close game. Action on both the left flank, the right flank, and even down the middle. But we see Tunison making a side build, and that's where the game ends. The top team had some really good early game aggression. The underworld player was really good. They could have maybe taken the town center out quicker and then got back to defend quicker. It would have maybe made the difference, but very high pressure situation, not easy to make a call on that. If we look at the post game graphs in terms of the town center timings, we had a fast 3 TC from Set, but the difference here is that Nullus stayed on 1 TC all the way until 20 minutes, whereas Tunison, the other Thor on the other team, got his second town center at 9 minutes, and that's why he was able to boost his economy, get to his mythic age, cast Fimbulwinter, and stifle the economy of the Greek, not able to get food, not able to make the hoplites that he needs to counter these Jarls. So that's that at the end of the day. If we look at the total military value, Ragnerox, he cast Underworld Passage, he cast Restoration, he put the pressure on, he lost his army, and that's when he also lost his town center. Big moment here, huge dip in the Set economy from 6,000 resources down to 2,000. That's a 4k resource value out of the Dragon Typhoon. That is enormous. And then if we look at the second Dragon Typhoon, Ragnerox had 4,000 down to 1,350. So once again, that's another 2,000 plus resources value on that Dragon Typhoon. So I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more Susanoo in these team games. That was obviously just one army that it was casted on. If there's a big fight and there's multiple armies in one place, then it's going to be even more value. Mosca, great economy. Even though he stayed on two town centers a lot of the game, he came out on tops. We see the story here. Both Ragnerox and DSE were under pressure. Their economy was mimicking one another, but Nullus fell behind. And that is difficult. He knew he can't let the Gaia have a free game because Gaia's economy is incredible. So he was taking one for the team. Maybe they felt that if they got that done, they would secure the late game. But unfortunately, Ragnerox was under a huge amount of pressure here from Tunison, and Tunison balanced the aggression and the defense beautifully, knowing when to force the issue, when to pull back and build up his production, and that seems to have been the deal breaker in this game. So thank you very much once again. I hope you enjoyed this game. Very well played to everyone. I know it's just a ranked ladder game, nothing too serious, but nevertheless, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day forward. And let me know in the comments if you have anything to say about the game or about the cast. That would be sincerely appreciated. Thanks, everybody. Cheers for now.